All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be starting up here in the top side of the map, on top of the purple Protoss player representing Team Flipside Tactics. Give it up for puCK.
Whoop, whoop. And on the other side, it is going to be our Red Terran player from Korea but living in Canada. It is Elevate MaSa. And this is the finals of the first ASL Challenger? Back when it was Prime, actually. Prime.
Yeah, man. I'm loving
This is the
this
finals
chat.
right here. I love the chat, too.
Hey, no more CC
Shout out
first,
to everybody.
Oh, man. Oh, wait. Did MaSa do it? Yeah, MaSa went for the CC first.
Wow.
He's not
okay,
joking,
so
man.
He's going to go. Not at all.
Man, Jon
And
Snow
there
and
he
MaSa,
goes.
both very, very upfront
Jon
and
Snow?
honest people.
Yeah. Well, either way. They're just kind of having fun in the chat with each other, and you see the timing here of the barracks, and you probably think here as puCK that it's going to be okay. Most likely, I think, yeah, command center first. They've definitely played each other quite a few times.
Yeah.
So I wonder if we're going to see any kind of mind games going on.
I feel like that was already a mind game.
I know. That was like, yeah, step number one, you're right.
Please don't go for the CC first. I'm going to do it. And then he actually does
Yeah.
it. And he says, I said I was going to do it.
You know what happens on ladder when people will be like, hey, are you the real tempo? And then I'm like, yep. It's like, oh, I was going to cheese you, but I couldn't do that. And I'm like, oh, thanks, man. And then I like cheese them back.
Oh my God.
I'd be like, nah, I just feel bad sometimes.
I'm so grateful. I've like almost never been recognized on the ladder except by other people I know. Like I think I one time ran across Damon Knight, or also known as Filthy Rake. Like I ran across him on the ladder, I think once? Question mark. It was a long time ago. That was fun. I think I cheesed him.
A nice PvP there.
That was a fun PvP. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I kind of rushed him.
I'm pretty sure you did too. Even though I didn't watch it.
You were just like I wasn't even there, but Fear Dragon, I know you too well.
I know you far too well. So we have a Robo coming out of puCK while MaSa, is he gonna go? Yeah, triple racks. It does look like delaying his tech in order to get enough to deal with an Oracle, but it doesn't even seem like that's gonna be the case. He just wants to go and attack. It looks like a little bit harder to do on Dusk Towers, I think.
This Stalker is also not going to catch vision of this because this giant cliff acts like a line of sight blocker. Oh, that's actually really funny. The Stalker is, well, realistically, there's not a whole lot that's going to be popping out over here. I mean, sure, the Marines are going to be here, but the Marines are going to be taking fire. I actually think that MaSa might have a little bit of trouble dealing with the Stalker.
It's going to be annoying, but I think that puCK is going to have to react immediately. You know, if he focuses too much on that Stalker by MaSa's base, then he's not going to see the Marines pop up. And if they snipe that pylon, there's really not a lot more here for puCK to defend.
He sees it now. The Stalker is not reacting in time. Photon Overcharge is going to be thrown down, but the Stalker is going to lose its life, and the Marines are going to make their way into the natural expansion. This is exactly
There's
what
no
you're talking
pylon
about.
over here, Fear Dragon. There's nothing over here.
Oh, boy.
At all. So puCK is ahead by 5 workers, but he is going to lose a few. Not too many, though. Looks like 3 in total.
Yeah. Loses a bit of mining time as well, which does suck this early on in the game, but oh, the Marines didn't actually move into the main base so much, so they didn't get a scout off exactly on the robotics bay. They see the robotics facility, but robotics facility, it's, first of all, it's puCK, so you can kind of anticipate the robotics facility, but second of all, you tend to just want to get up detection anyways in this matchup, so
No matter what,
it might be a slight reveal.
Okay. I was gonna say something here. When puCK makes a robotics facility, you don't know what he's actually gonna do with it, and already we see the robotics bay. Wait, where is he upgrading that War Prism thing? Is he making 2 robotics bays? What are you doing?
Wait, what?
He's making 2 robotics bays right now.
Oh, puCK!
Because I saw the upgrade and then I saw the
Yeah, I just realized what you're talking about. Oh no, puCK. Well, I guess he can get observers. Okay, he cancels it. Loses a few minerals and gas. That does kind of suck still, and of course, like that could have gone into, for example, an earlier Twilight Council, or could have gone into something else a little bit earlier. But still, it's a nice recovery. You got back a majority of it.
He would have been pretty salty about that one. He's like, well, I guess I gotta make Colossus then. Get the extended thermal lance or something like that.
Extended thermal lance and also get observer speed.
Imagine that scanned by MaSa, though. He's like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, he did scan it. He did see exactly like that robotic facility that, or robotic say that get canceled, and he saw the finish Robotics Bay, but here comes in the Warp Prism. Observer does get scouted, and it gets scanned. Taken out of the sky very quickly. The Disruptor gonna have a bit of a hard time finding these Marines and gonna fail to find a decent chunk of them.
Oh man, that is a nice hit there. How many just went down? Even a Marauder, I believe, fell with it as well. And with that Warp Prism speed, it is pretty tough in order to actually keep up with it. No Viking, no Liberator. It's really gonna just be slow Marines on the ground, which they do have stim at least.
Disruptor for 5 kills from that last one. This SCV is out for blood. The Marines, I think they're scared.
Yep, that's a good hit. He's gonna get a few more SCVs right there. And
where is MaSa's army? Did MaSa load up everything?
He's dropping. Yeah.
Oh my
he's gonna
god.
Try to drop puck.
That's his entire army.
You are right. He doesn't have anything at home, does he?
I mean,
oh my.
puCK has almost as many. He has almost as many stalkers plus the disruptors, like just in terms of numbers, not even army supply, as this drop is going to be. In terms of Marines and Marauders. This is... I don't see how this is going to go super well unless he just completely catches puCK out of position. Which I guess this is kind of out of position. Oh, Disruptor! Gets a lot more kills.
But that upgrade from the Twilight Blink is what it is going to get stopped for now, but all it takes is one, it looks like.
Yeah, man. In the days of old, you would say, oh man, that drop is going to snipe off my upgrade. There's nothing I can do about it because I don't have the DPS. Well, when you have Disruptors, that suddenly is not the case.
Yeah. I love this positioning here. Targeting down those medevacs. Yeah, MaSa was trying to. He might, or rather puCK was trying to. He gets one of them, but he loses 2 stops.
That's going to get focus fire down.
Oh, before Blink.
Well, the Marines and Marauders are all going to end up falling, and puCK might be able to still continue to go in with the Disruptors and try and get some damage on. I mean, he loses a little bit of mining. He loses a couple of workers. Loses Blink. That I should say. I mean, obviously losing Blink is the worst of that. I think the Blink is the biggest.
Yeah, that really hurts. Because he would like to have that as he takes the 3rd base. So now MaSa is going to be able to utilize the drops in between not only the 3rd, but you boost over into the natural, and if he comes on the left side, he could also just pull puCK apart, and he will not have the Blink Stalkers, which he's invested into so heavily.
Blink Stalkers are making their way across the map, and it might be 2 passing ships in the night right now. puCK does realize what's going on over there, though, and he has the Disruptor in the Warp Prism. He's going to fire a good shot. Oh, he pulls back, though. Oh, Blink's off of cooldown. No, Blink's not researched.
He can't. He's trying to go Blink Stalker Disruptor, but he doesn't have the Blink yet. Oh,
that's so funny. I totally forgot.
Remember, he can't. So,
yeah.
What is he? You know, this is the kind of unit composition he would like to have in the mid game, but Stalkers are not the best against Marauders, of course, and you get some really nicely upgraded Marines with it too. And all of a sudden, you know, you have these kind of mediocre units that just can't shut their eyes, apparently. It's like, dude, I was so close. And then he, like, drank a Red Bull for no reason.
All right, well, we might be seeing the big engagement over here. Disruptor does pick off the Widowmine. Really good spot over there from puCK, but these Disruptors are getting focused very down. One of them goes down to these Marauders from the side. Oh, that guy does kind of suck to lose. Actually, did he lose 2 of them?
I don't know. He's lost 2 so far, so if those were the first 2 to die, then yeah, not that greatest. And this attack is supposed to have Blink with it, remember? So he's still trying to make the best out of that situation. I just don't think it's going to be as effective.
Yeah, nice dodges on these Disruptor shots from MaSa, and with both of the Disruptor shots being used, the Warp Prism is so far away, the Disruptors can just get focus fire down. Both of them go down. Does puCK actually have enough with no Blink on these Stalkers to take on this army? I don't know. He's doing a really good job so far with the Liberator sieges.
Oh, but with the SCVs getting pulled, it looks like he is going to be able to at least push it back for the time being. Funny part here is that MaSa has lost 20 workers here, by the way. Or... wait, MaSa killed 20 workers? Where? Is he? What?
Did he have another drop that went on during this?
I actually don't know. Maybe it was just from that other one, and I didn't realize just how many it was. But I wanted to note, of course, that the workers are actually...
20 workers. puCK has killed 20 workers. Okay. With those Disruptor drops and all the other harassment he did. Yeah, only 5 workers have gone down for...
So, yeah, I was going to say that puCK has killed so many workers, and that makes a lot more sense. But it was because MaSa pulled off of the line there, too, in order to hold. But,
very close to getting hit off, but he does have to pick up as he realizes no chance over there. Liberator's not going to be able to catch a Speed Warp Prism.
Can't keep up with that. And when that Liberator count gets too high, it is a lot more difficult here for the Protoss to actually engage. That blink definitely going to be an upgrade. He did end up finishing it.
Yeah,
Good job.
Something we haven't talked about either is the fact that MaSa did finish up 1-1 upgrade some time ago. He's already started up his 2-2, almost halfway finished now, and puCK is only just now getting up +1 weapons. Now, especially when you're going for the Disruptor play, it's not as big of a deal, as the Widow Mines are going to be dropping in over here in the main base, taking out a couple of these workers. It's not as big of a deal to be lacking those upgrades, because the Disruptors don't really rely on upgrades, but still, it is sort of surprising to see how much further behind puCK is in the upgrade count right now. Well,
yeah, he's only going to be finishing +1. MaSa's almost on 2-2 now. And this push that he's making is going to utilize that fact that he should have a really nice upgrade lead. But you said it, man. You get hit by a Disruptor, and all of a sudden it's like, well, that sucked.
Your 3-3 cannot save you now.
It doesn't even matter, yeah.
Oh, and there's still Storm. 2 Widow Mines. Or actually, there's 2 Widow Mines available in the natural expansion. They both go off. Killing off a decent chunk of the workers at the same time the engagement happens.
Yep. So now puCK not really paying attention in his main, or it's natural because he doesn't have to worry about this push. The Disruptor shot, Purification over getting so many of those Marauders. This is a position that is hard to engage as MaSa. You know, when there are that many Disruptors, you walk up that ramp, and if you don't snipe those Disruptors, you're going to be losing a lot of your army.
Well, we have the Liberators setting up a very nice defensive position, but here comes the Disruptors. Blink Stalkers moving on in. Disruptors trying to zone out these Marauders, but they just got focus fire down. puCK is not taking the most cost-efficient of engagements as he loses a lot of his very expensive units, but I think he might have enough to take this, especially with the reinforced Stalkers.
With good Blink Micro. Yeah, the Blink Micro is going to be good, and if there is going to be another hit from the Disruptor, it should be able to allow him to hold on for now, but the real problem is that MaSa was able to secure the 4th, and puCK finding it a little bit more difficult to get more confident. You know, he's like, okay, this guy's pretty much in my face this whole game. I would rather do some damage to him, whether he gets like a Warp Prism out and disrupt MaSa.
Right? It's also the fact that those Widow Mines did so much damage. I mean, you were talking about, oh my god, when did MaSa kill 20 workers? Well, now MaSa has killed 20 workers.
He did.
It's through those Widow Mines that he had that puCK finally cleaned up, throwing up the Photon Cannon in his natural expansion, but he ended up taking quite a few losses, and he's only down to 50 workers now, only just now starting to replenish that worker count a bit. And as you were saying, not having a 4th expansion, puCK is not looking great for the later stages of the game. He really wants to take an engagement, but taking it versus these Liberators is not easy.
Not at all. It's just, he has to be very careful. Both of them have some really nice zoning tools. The Disruptor and the Liberator, good force fields, actually. Messed really up those Marauders from trying to snipe that Disruptor. And then he lost a few of his units as a result of it. But where is this army value of MaSa? You know, he's up to 103 to the 70 of puCK.
I kind of think a lot of it's in medevacs, right? There's 8 medevacs out almost right now. Or 7 medevacs. And I guess the Liberators as well.
True that.
Well,
but this is only an attack to secure puCK's 4th base as well.
A couple more Disruptors going to be coming in. puCK does throw out some zoning Disruptor shots to push that army of MaSa back, but that 4th expansion for puCK going up very, very late. We're starting to just see it's all about that supply count right now, where MaSa is leading up 60 army supply, or sorry, just 60 supply in general. Most of it is army supply. Oh, okay, well, it's a little bit more even now.
Yeah, that's going to even it up. Disruptors do that every once in a while. But damn, the Liberator, the zones that they are making, it's really making it hard for puCK to actually attack.
You know? It's sort of surprising. MaSa's never really going for like the splits that some Terrans try to go for against those Disruptors. He's really just relying on stimming and running away and not engaging the Disruptor shots at all. Which is one way you can handle it. It's just sort of surprising because that's how we end up seeing a lot of these army units get clumped up when they try and outrun the Disruptor shot, but they don't have enough of a lead on the Disruptors because those shots do move faster than stimmed units.
Yeah. So I love when they do pick up into the medevac in order to avoid it. Definitely really nice here. So, excuse me, sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
We got a fleet beacon on the way from puCK, so as soon as the Liberators do get into the sky, the way that Protoss have been dealing with it are the Tempests. And this is just so Disruptors! Why? Oh no, has he missed?
Well, I mean,
that was a good hit.
He gets a good hit, but he loses so many Disruptors over there. I mean, 16 Disruptors have gone down this game, Tempo. 16
I was trying to be a bit positive there, but yeah, that was not a good trade for puCK at all. and he's trying to transition into Tempest, which will mean that his ground armies are not going to be that scary. It's only these disruptors that are keeping MaSa afraid, and if he keeps on losing them or misses the shots, all of a sudden, oh, nice blink though.
Well, a couple more disruptor shots going to be going off. These liberators have definitely done a good job of zoning, but another disruptor going to end up falling, and there's only one disruptor out on the map right now for puCK.
Yep, and Stalkers are not the best against Marine Marauder, especially because they're going to have that 3-3. And remember, you were talking about the upgrades. Well, he never started 2-2 puCK. 3-3 is going to finish here, and Blink Stalkers are going to melt. There's just no real way for them to actually combat the forces of MaSa in a straight-up fight.
Yeah, Stim Marauders attacking 1-1 Blink Stalkers. Like, there's not even going to be time to blink almost in this engagement. But we're going to have to see, as the Liberator count is still very high, GG gets called, puCK taps out, and MaSa comes out victorious.
Well done. Hell of a game. That was, yeah. I love Dusk Towers for games like that.
Yeah, you got a lot of really cool like back and forth games where it's back and forth because the armies they have to encounter each other. It's so hard not to encounter your opponent's army. Unless the armies are small enough that like one of them goes through the passageway and the other one doesn't. Those are the rare occasions where that happens.
But a thing that you do have to at least give props to MaSa for is, despite being under that pressure in the earlier / mid game, he never slipped on his macro when it came down to it. The pushes that he made were to secure another base for the most part, and he would keep on getting ahead economically while at least trading efficiently. There was never like too many drops that he made that he just lost like 2 medevacs full of units for no reason. They usually would trade out, I would say.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. It was really funny because we'd see like the disruptors constantly get picked off, but then the disruptor, like the third disruptor, would just get a massive hit off that kind of equalized how things were going. You know, occasionally some of these liberators would get a little bit too over aggressive and get into a nice position, but we are going to be hopping into our next map, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be Orbital Shipyard for game number 2. We'll see you guys there. We'll see you guys there. We'll see you guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're spawning over here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map on top of the purple Protoss player from Flipside Tactics. Give it up for the American puCK.
And in the top right corner, representing Elevate Gaming, it is MaSa.
That's a pretty cool logo. I like that summit. The mountain on that decal.
Pretty cool. I believe he is the only SC2 player on that team.
Yeah, man, we gotta get the double check, fact checked on that. I'm trying to think if there are any other players. I feel like there may be another player, and like if I hear their name, I'm just like, oh yeah, of course they're on Elevate. I feel like there might be one of those situations, but right now I don't know. Whoa, puCK, that's interesting.
What is he going for?
He goes to the scout and then he pulls back his probe. And it didn't look like misclicks where he tries to pull back the probe back to his home base because he mishockeyed. Like, I saw the clicks around this area where the probe was, and then he goes back in. I don't really know what that was about. If he was maybe checking for a proxy or something, but what?
Yeah, MaSa has been known for his aggressive kind of plays, but I'm wondering the last time he's done something super crazy like that. I love when he like throws it in though, because a lot of his pushes, they tend to be in the very early game, set you off, and kind of make you, you know, a little bit scared for what's going to be coming next.
That's what we saw the last game, right? Where it was exactly that. That is, you're so right. That is exactly MaSa's playstyle. MaSa is not...
He does it in TvZ too.
MaSa's all about disrupting his opponent. Oh my god, SCV.
And he's not even Protoss.
Wow. puCK getting the kill on that SCV. Yeah, not even Protoss. He's really all about disrupting his opponent's play, though. And he went for, like, for example, that early Marine push that we were talking about, where he kills off a couple of workers, forces out a foot an overcharge, kills off a stalker, with just a handful of Marines walking across the map. Like, that shouldn't have been able to do damage. But it's because people aren't expecting to do damage that they don't really account for it. They don't really take the extra precautions. They play a little bit greedier.
Yeah, and they'll say, well, no one's going to run across the map with a bunch of Marines. Like, who does that? I have a Mothership Core, right? But... if your attention is somewhere else, which it was for puCK, he was trying to attack with the Stalker, then you can get damage like that done. So,
yeah.
Luckily, he did react in time, even though he did lose the Stalker on the ramp. Cool.
Well, we
It's
have
a very early third command center, by the way.
yeah, super early third command center, and I mean this is a nice map to try and take an early third. But I'm a little bit surprised to see it. You know what I've actually really wondered about Tempo, and this is gonna probably be like really big ignorance from a Protoss player or something, or like a Diamond League Protoss player. But I've always wondered, in a matchup like this, would it make sense if, depending on the map, maybe I would actually say not even so much this, but like Dust Towers instead, where the third expansion is like this impeding place that you have to go by to get to the natural. For Terran Blues to maybe just grab a really, really fast third, but they make it a planetary fortress and they start mining with it immediately. Just like, you know what? It's not going to be an orbital, but you're going to have it so much earlier that it's not going to matter.
I wonder, actually. Honestly, I haven't seen any Terrans really do it. And a lot of the times in this matchup, PvT, Protoss have been taking their third a lot earlier than Terrans, as opposed to like Heart of the Swarm, where it was almost the norm for the Terran to get that earlier third command center and then, try to be ahead in that way.
Yeah. Well, I guess to tie it back to what the current game is right now, the point is, MaSa going for the 3 orbitals, it does mean that in most of these situations where we do end up seeing Terran players trying to go for this massive economic edge by going for fast 3CC play, they end up not mining from the third expansion for quite a bit of time. They just use it to produce extra SCVs, and they use it for the extra mules, which is a nice economic benefit. Yeah. But I do kind of wonder like how things go. I guess actually another side of it is, if you take a look at the worker count right now, even if you try to grab a third right now, he wouldn't really be mining effectively with it. He's still saturating his natural.
Yeah, it's mainly just to make those workers, but what I think he should have done is put the command center at the third of puCK and put it into a planetary fortress. Now
boom!
I'll get behind.
Defended.
Yep.
Actually, puCK's the wrong person to do it because he loves this Warp Prism harassment so much. Gravitic Drive on the way once again. We're going to have Speed Port Warp Prisms with the Disruptor, and this was pretty effective in the last game. He managed to get a couple of kills not only on workers, but just other units. He was killing off Marines and Marauders.
He did a really good job with it last time. And let's hope that he's able to get that kind of damage done again, because he is down by 1. It is game number 2. And remember last time, the reason why it didn't really, I would say, transition really well was because of his blink getting canceled. So if he's able to kind of hit the timing that he's been practicing and actually get blink out this time at the right time, I think he should be okay. It just kind of threw him off balance by not having it. The push just wasn't that effective.
Yeah. Well, here comes the Disruptor as MaSa tries to retreat. He does split up his CVs a little bit, but still end up taking about 4 or 5 losses over there. I think it's 4 losses because that baller probe from a few minutes ago ended up killing an SCV. But,
I love this adaptation by MaSa, though. He opted to go for the Viking preemptively because of this kind of play that puCK is trying to do.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Definitely a little slight variation in his build, just so that he doesn't have to worry about that really annoying Warp Prism harass, whether it be from the Disruptor or if it were to be like Adepts.
Yeah, this is actually really cool, and I can talk about this because this is something way back, like 4 years ago, Liquid Hero would go for, and Terran players would try and make a Viking against it when he would go for Colossus drops, because obviously there weren't Disruptors 4 years ago. But he'd go for Colossus drops.
I was a big fan of that one.
Yeah, but he would
love the Disruptor drop.
The Warp Prism would still just survive because it would just outspeed the Vikings, and unless you had Vikings well spread out in all different locations, it was really hard for them to actually catch up and significantly punish the Warp Prism. But here we go. puCK is putting on that pressure. The pressure that he wanted to do last game, but he didn't have Blink for. Oh my god, that is a... Whoa. Oh, that was a really scary moment. Oh, but the medevac gets sniped out before it unloads the units, the Blink forward. I think that might be enough for puCK to just take this game.
I think so, and he is going to have that blink. Remember, this is the timing I was talking about. It didn't get hit last game because of the snipe of the Twilight Council, but this time puCK is in his full stride, able to lift up the third base here of MaSa, and he just has way too much right now. I think he could just end the game.
Oh, it doesn't matter if you raise that supply depot. I mean, he could blink over it anyways, but blinking on top of the command center, a couple of the Stalkers get stuck on the low ground, but Disruptor shots going off on the remainder of the army. SCV's been pulled off the line. puCK evening up the score, 1-1.
Yeah, that is a difference between not getting your blink sniped and getting your blink sniped, apparently.
Seriously. I mean, of course, we have to account for the fact that that was a big pressure play that puCK was going for. And MaSa went for the early 3cc, so he didn't have as many units as he normally would, I think, in that situation.
True.
So things
You're
just,
absolutely right there.
things definitely kind of worked out well, I would say, for puCK. But, I mean, that's part of the point of the pressure play, is you say, if my opponent's playing greedy, I do some damage. If my opponent isn't playing super greedy, because I don't think that was a big all-in for puCK. He could have like, grabbed a third expansion and everything behind that. That's the thing, is like, he just moves back, he sees whatever damage he can do, and then he just plays it out from a macro game there.
And if it kills, then it kills, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, wow.
I mean, that's the difference
poking
between
at
a pressure play and an all-in, right? Is you try and a pressure play tries to punish a player who's playing too greedy, and all-in is there to try and kill the player no matter what.
Like, it could even be off of no scouting or anything like that. That kind of push will also be able to scout what it is that MaSa's trying to be going for, check the upgrades, and oh, there we go. Oh, crap. There we go.
Yeah, we're still... You're
Got into
we
the
haven't seen it
lobby.
without you.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, you're good. We're going to be hopping into the next game, though, ladies and gentlemen. The map is going to be Lerla Crest.
Okay.
Sort of an interesting map. It's a map where your third expansion ends up... Like, the darting between the main base and natural, the third, with drops for both warp prisms as well as just Terran drops can be a little bit crazy. So I think this is a really, really nice map for that. But... I don't know. I'm trying to think of like how Warp Prism Disruptor harassment could go on this map, and I'm starting to think that this could go really well for puCK and just the playstyle he's going for right now.
He seems to really like it. I don't think it's really a drawback to doing it, aside from that you don't have too many units while you're waiting to get your blink upgrade and whatnot. But he still had a decent amount of stalkers when he was doing it, so I don't know.
Yep.
Maybe like more marauders. That Viking, he made it. It's just still, yeah.
Only one way to find out. We're hopping into Lerla Crest, guys. Lerla Crest, guys. Lerla. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're spawning over here in the ace match. Down here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, the player representing Team Flipside Tactics. Give it up for puCK.
And on the other side, representing Elevate, it is MaSa.
Ooh, oh boy. Alright, so this is the map that I was talking about, where your third expansion, the normal third expansion you try and take, is very, very easy to dart from between there to the main base to the natural expansion. And it's a pretty long walking distance between each one of these bases by ground. So if you're trying to defend with your Marines or you're trying to defend with your Stalkers against the drop harassment, it can be a little bit troublesome. We'll see if that comes into play. I kind of feel like just stylistically, I'm expecting to see it from puCK at least. If not MaSa also.
Yeah, both of them do love their drops. It's kind of funny to see them go at each other, and whoever is able to tilt the other person first, maybe.
That's kind of in the story, right?
But
like,
yeah,
a lot of the just, I guess, harassment. I mean, I'll admit puCK didn't exactly do absurd amounts of damage with the disruptor drop in the last game. But in the first game...
But he adjusted the build. Like, he made MaSa adjust his build.
Yeah.
He didn't have a lot of medevacs. And it can be because of the fact that he had to invest in that Viking. So, that means there's no drops, and there's also no healing. So it's like, that factor...
That's true.
It's eliminated now. Just because he's playing more defensively to try to, like, maybe metagame
That's
the
really
playstyle
good
that
point.
puCK wants to do.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually.
Thank you.
The fact that the Viking is being made means that the early medevac that would normally be able to go out for a drop isn't able to be made. I'm really curious if MaSa is okay with how the adjustment worked out then in that situation. Like, does he decide to go for something like that again if he's anticipating that puCK is going to go for those disruptor drops again, as he's want to do?
Right. And then that's when puCK goes and he does like the Twilight Council Resonating Glaive Adept all in. That would be a good way to play a series, though.
Well, hey, what would protect the warp prism that normally accompanies the adepts?
Oh yeah, true.
From the Viking,
from the one Viking, the hero Viking.
the hero
Maybe,
Viking that
hey.
shuts down the push.
And it's
Maybe-
like, wow, all along it wasn't units I needed; it was just a way to kill that damn warp prism.
Man, that's how you have to deal with the adept all-ins, man. You just got to get a single Viking to deal with the adepts.
Nothing shoots up, or a banshee.
Or a banshee.
But-
Yeah, why? Man, that would actually be really cool. Banshees do damage pretty quickly, man.
Yeah. But it's more so kind of like the Roach effect against the Mutas, where there's just too much on the ground and you lose a lot more before you actually clean everything up. So, unless you're going like a Rough style with triple starport, but I don't think MaSa and Rough have very similar playstyles.
Yeah, this game we do have a second barracks come down relatively early for MaSa, but then following up with a factory. So he's getting down a Widowmine. I'm surprised to not see a starport very early on. It's like the Widowmine alongside really fast stim. Is he just gonna walk up to puCK's like natural expansion and go for aggression there?
He could do that. You know, one of the things he's doing by delaying that tech is that he does get a good amount of units out. He added, the fact that he's making 2 barracks,
what if
I would assume that he would.
What if the Widowmine is going to be burrowed? And look at the location of this Widowmine. It's an angle that the Warp Prism would either come in or retreat from.
Or an Oracle.
Or an Oracle. Or an Oracle. I would say just because of how puCK's been playing and the fact that he's been going for this fast Warp Prism speed and Robotics Bay and Disruptor play, like I think it's probably for the Warp Prism, because 1 Widowmine will not kill a Warp Prism. 2 Widowmines will kill a Warp Prism, and he's burrowing 2 Widowmines over here.
Oh, wow. And if puCK doesn't realize that, it's going to have a Disruptor in it, you know? So that is going to be a very expensive Warp Prism, should he not realize that the Widowmines are there. That's actually pretty scary, because I think that's a lot of momentum that would be lost if he were to lose that.
Yep, Warp Prism speed is on the way. Disruptor is going to be popping on out. Scan goes down on where the Observer was. I think the Observer got picked off. That's a pretty big deal. That Observer didn't have the opportunity to scout out the timing on the factory, the starport, or anything. So that might be a little bit less of a reveal. The fact that, you know, Stim is already going to be finished up and everything else.
Indeed, and the kind of cute play that puCK is doing now too. Do you think he'll actually have enough at home to deal with like a really solid frontal push here out of MaSa, especially if that Warp Prism did go down? Wait, where did the
Widowmines are all in a drop at the bottom side. He picked them all up. I thought he was going to try and snipe off that Warp Prism. It looks like that's not the case.
Oh, well, luckily for him, that Warp Prism is going to the left side, so it wouldn't have really played a role.
Oh my god, Widowmine's doing a lot of damage though, and at the same time Disruptor going off, killing off 6 workers.
Okay, well, 4 workers to 8 workers killed here in the favor of MaSa.
That friendly fire damage.
You know, sometimes you gotta take one for the team.
Tell that to the poor Widowmines. Oh, I actually don't... Ooh, I think that the Stalkers are going to be losing some of their lives, or more than just their shields, actually.
He doesn't have Blink. He doesn't have Blink!
Oh! I think he lost 4 Stalkers there.
He did not need to lose those, you know?
No. Well, Disruptor is still moving around with the Warp Prism, and losing the Stalkers, that does suck, but I mean, I guess at least he didn't lose any probes there.
Uh-huh. That's good for him, I would say. It was probably going to be very scary if he didn't, or if there was target firing, perhaps. But I think he reacted to the Disruptor instead.
Yep. Warp Prism still moving around, trying to find some damage it can do, trying to go after army units as well. MaSa on top of it, picking up those units, and keeping that medevac count alive is going to be so important versus a player like puCK, who really loves building up that Disruptor count. Because you need enough medevacs to actually pick up your units, but you also need to make sure that the Stalkers don't just blink underneath the medevacs, I suppose.
Which is what we saw in the last game. He saved himself from the Disruptor, and then he's like, yeah, we're safe. And it's like, no, we're not, because the Stalkers blink right under it and take out that medevac.
Yeah, it's a really cool counter play, I guess you could say. You know, people always talk about the counter play, lift up all your units in the medevac, and suddenly the Disruptor can't hit you. Well, the counter play to that is just kill the units before they actually unload.
Well, we're looking at Resonating Glaives to follow it up. Still no third base out of puCK, or even MaSa. And the fact is that
I wonder if it's because they at least, well, maybe both of them feel like it's a little bit harder to defend the third expansion on this map against like the drop harassment. I'm not sure if that's actually the case, but puCK is finally going to be going for that third expansion. Disruptor is moving around, still looking for those opportunities, and this is what I like about puCK, is that He's just staying so active with this Disruptor. But, oh, this is a cute little play. A single Marine is going to be able to push that Warp Prism back because the Disruptor can't easily kill a single Marine.
It can't, yeah.
Oh, it gets very close to dying, though.
That was close. How low did it get? You can't really click on it right now, but still. It is in the red for sure. And puCK is looking to go for that style that we did see once again, but he's adding the resonating glaives to it. So we should see a bit more adepts in order to at least buffer for the stalkers in the back. And
yeah,
disruptors, man. This is a scary army against Bio.
But similar to the game on Dust Towers, I'm getting a little bit worried because 1-1 now finishes up for MaSa. puCK has no intention of getting any upgrades besides those resonating glaives. He's not getting +1/+1. And he's going to be in a weird situation if he cannot land good disruptor hits.
Yep, and remember, if you're controlling the disruptors, that means that you're not blinking most likely, unless you like kind of set it and forget it kind of deal. But a lot of the times you're trying to maximize the effectiveness. Oh my god, the Liberators! Exposed for a second. Oh, that was scary.
Well, one nice thing about having those disruptors now is that you don't have to deal with the fact that your observers get sniped or anything and killing off those little mines. Oh!
What are they doing?
Oh my god, puCK, he's going to be able to get some good hits off, but he trades out a lot of his disruptors, picks up a last remaining disruptor. I don't know if that was worth it. I mean, he killed a lot.
It was intentional. People I don't know. Disruptors think they're zealots every once in a while, and they find out pretty soon, or really quickly, that they are not.
Yeah, man.
I see that happen so much. There's miscontrol on disruptors getting ahead of the army.
It's similar logic to why you end up seeing a lot of Protoss players sacrificing High Templars in, Zerg players sacrificing the Infestors in. It's because when you have them on your normal hotkey control, oftentimes it's very easy. Like if you do an attack move, they will just walk their way into that location that you attack move to. It's it can be a little bit frustrating control-wise, but I think with that
it's so expensive though. Like losing even 2 for free like that is pretty brutal.
Absolutely, 150, but puCK was moving around. He might be able to throw out another disruptor shot to push MaSa back, but MaSa's Liberator count is also growing pretty heavily. And this is one of the things that caused puCK some trouble in the first game on Dust Towers.
Yeah, level that crest is a bit more open here, at least on the part that is getting attacked. It's not like you're defending your third base at that one point. You know, you do have quite a bit of space from the left side on the top side. So the rocks are not down though, so it's not like he could easily move around in order to set up like a real nice flank. Oh goodness, he's actually gonna get trapped already. Like he didn't utilize that. He's just gonna chill. Wow.
Alright, well, Disruptor Shot's going to continue to try and zone some stuff out. Adepts being warped in on the other side of the map, killing a lot of these workers. MaSa doesn't realize it because he's busy controlling his army on the other side of the map. Photon Overcharge is also going down. A robotic facility getting very, very low on health, but it looks like another Disruptor will finish. And
yeah, the Adepts inside of the main, or rather inside of the third base as well.
Oh, boy. If puCK can somehow manage to hold over here, he's going to not only be up a third, but he's going to be up a massive number of workers. And I think he's done it. He's gotten enough disruptor shots.
Yep, and the Adepts are still running around. There's a huge amount of them that are going to be here at the third. And MaSa doesn't have a lot at home at all. He's trying to take a third, but uh-oh, here come the Adepts into the natural. And so many SCVs are no longer going to be with us anymore. Ripping pepperonis.
I think this is the point where puCK just knows how far ahead he is. If he even takes out a portion of MaSa's army. And I like the fact that, you know, one people might say like, oh, you just killed your opponent's economy. You don't need to wait for, you don't need to go kill them. You just wait for them to come to you. But one nice thing about this is that puCK is going to be able to take out the army, or at least even trade out a little bit. And that's going to cut down on MaSa's ability to reinforce anyways, because then MaSa can't just go for a big counterattack across the map.
He can, and the fact that he took this third base might be a mistake. He probably is regretting that. Oh, it's actually a fourth base, and it is a planetary, by the way, so that's going to be pretty good here for the defense. It's just that he's down to 7 workers here, Fear Dragon. And that's, not a count you want to be at.
Not even enough that you want to repair with. All right, well...
repair that, Oh, wow.
MaSa's kind of stuck at home right now, even losing a couple of those units again. It's the idea that even if he trades out okay or relatively efficiently versus puCK, unless it's an overwhelmingly good engagement for MaSa, puCK still has time as MaSa would try and move across the map where he would just have an economy and he would be able to reproduce units and MaSa wouldn't have reinforcements coming in.
Yep. Planetary
picking off a
Fortress,
full medevac.
Oh, yeah, he can't afford to be
GG.
losing that. He realizes that. GG. Fuck. Fighting tooth and nail. He's gonna be able to advance here, and I believe he plays against State.
Yeah.
BP.
Well,
How's the other side of the bracket doing, by the way? Or rather, the
the
lower.
losers bracket?
Yeah.
The lower bracket is the politically correct term for it.
Yeah. So how are these losers down there doing? Like,
Yes.
I would have made it like that. No.
Oh man. Well, looks like Neeb ended up beating Huck. And that's not even like a slight to Huck. It's freaking Neeb. I really want to know how Coma beat Neeb, because Neeb is a freaking beast, and Coma's awesome. I just didn't know he had it in him. Looks like Jon Snow versus Bales has been going on for a while. Another team kill after the Jon Snow versus puCK series.
Already, yeah. Flipside Tactics definitely showing up in full force today.
Oh man, we just missed their game by 4 minutes.
Oh, really? Damn.
Oh, but not MaSa versus Neeb and...
Exactly.
Wait, no.
puCK,
you know what we
puCK.
have to do? We have to do puCK versus State. Because
Yeah.
that is a qualifying match as far as I'm aware, question mark? Because the winner
I don't know.
The winner of that goes to the grand finals. And the grand finals, I mean, it's top 2 advance. So if you make it to the grand finals, you advance. I'm pretty sure.
Maybe. Yeah, I think you're going to have one winner from the winners, right? And then the winner from the losers
The
as
winner
well.
of the winners finals is going to be the winner from the winners.
Yeah. Holy crap. So this would be a qualifying match, I think. You might be right. You might be onto something, Fair Dragon.
All right.
Holy
well,
crap.
ladies and gentlemen, we're hopping to a short break. I'm going to remember to play the ads this time for the first time on the broadcast. As we're
Okay.
already getting to the qualifying match and I haven't played ads yet. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you guys in a little bit. Thank you guys so much for watching.